Hey guys, this is your girl Bianca, and I wanted to invite you and state that you being in a leadership position is a non-negotiable, okay? We think that we can decide. And what usually happens when you're thinking that you can decide about something, decide on something that you're called to do, decide on something that you're meant to lead in and birth in, honestly you can't decide because you're something that is going to be happening regardless of whether you make the decision or not. So if you choose to not go and listen and commit to the actual calling and the actual mission that is clearly crafted out for you, because clearly it's loud, right? Whatever you're supposed to be creating. You choose not to do that, you choose to run away from it. What's gonna actually happen is you're going to be leading aimlessly, mindlessly in all these other areas of your life. These other areas can make you sick, can make you stressed, can make you overwhelmed, can make you burn out, go into like anxiety, depression, go into a state of like wanting to numb yourself out fully. But it's because you are still leading in something else, if that makes sense. All of these things that come with leadership, there's many different aspects and many different things that come into play. Whether it's you have a community of people that you are leading, you have tasks and certain things that you need to do, you have spiritual discipline and everyday discipline that you're needing to create in your life. All of these things are still going to be happening. They just might be happening completely out of alignment with the calling that is meant for you, right? Because there is a whole path of your gifts and the things that are within you. And so if you choose to do the opposite, I'm telling you, it's just a non-negotiable. Actually, leadership finds you. Sometimes some people go out and try to find it, but usually you'll just know that you're leading in the world because of what's happening around you, because of the issues and challenges that might consistently come up for you, that you might be asking people questions about, and everybody's like, I don't even know where to start. Or you might feel like alone because you have these visions and these callings and these things that God has for you. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, leadership is a lonely road, especially because usually you're ahead of whatever is coming. And so, but with that, you have to consciously choose to honor that space, to honor that, especially if you're aspiring and you don't know what's going on. Whether it's even like you're doing something like leading your lineage and your community out of a situation, or you're being thrown into a position at a young age in a company, or you're called to create this business that makes you feel super uncomfortable, or you're called to be an athlete or do something, right? Do other things in the world. These things, when you are starting to question and think maybe I am a leader, you're already there. You literally just have to either choose to honor it and run towards what you're supposed to be crafting and creating, or you can choose to hide from it and choose to lead something else that is not as intentional. And from personal experience, when you're doing things unintentionally, yes, things are aligned in God's plan and stuff, but it makes it feel like you're trudging through mud, right? You feel all of these things because you're really trying to bypass what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So one of the ways that I would recommend you can really tap into this, you can really start honoring it, is noticing okay, what is my actual mission? And with that, who am I already leading in my everyday life? Who's leading me? First notice who is leading me. For me, God is one of the people in my life, and then I have different mentors and people that are doing the exact thing that I want, right? And so because I know that I'm not there, I can follow them knowing I am not there yet. And so I need the wisdom to know, hey, how do I at least get to this point? And then also knowing where you're leading, because the other thing is I feel like we downplay being a leader in certain aspects of our reality, because either we're humble or we're people are not blatantly telling us something, when you're in a company or when you're a manager somewhere, or you're a CEO, or you're in board of directors, or you have a nonprofit. people are blatantly telling you, hey, you're the leader in this and we're following what you say. But whenever it comes to this whole in life, half the time you might not even know like what you're leading because there's so many blurred lines. That's the other thing that we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of blurred lines in leadership when it's unintentional. So you need to start making things intentional. Start really crafting and understanding like, how do I do this in this way that's healthy for me and healthy for the other person? Because if you don't step into your leadership role in the spaces that you're in, other people will be impacted by you not doing that. And we don't think about that. We usually think about, I want to get to the top, I want to execute, I want to be a high performer, I want to be a leader, I want to build this company, I want to do these accolades and reach these goals. We don't actually think about all of the effects that happen to the people that are supposed to be following us. We just think that like they're not going to be affected. I'm the one that's going to be affected. But in leadership, everybody gets affected. You're leading and something goes wrong, other people will be impacted. You're leading, something goes right, other people will be impacted. Like, it's not so me. It's a collective type of situation, right? And so I just want to invite you to know that however you're meant to show up and whatever you're meant to create, you know, as an aspiring leader or a scaling female leader, yes, it's a lot of pressure. That's why people don't want to do it. It's being a leader is not something that is an easy task. Yes, there's a lot of freedom. Yes, there's a lot more decisions that need to be made. Yes, there's a lot more like weight on your shoulders. And yes, it's like kind of romanticized in the aspect of like, yes, you're known, or yes, you are impacting a lot of people, or what you're saying is being respected and reflected and you're able to communicate. But then there's the other side, the side where it's like every negative thing that happens, everything that has to do with really all the decisions that need to be made. Like there's so much. So I wanted to talk deeper next week about like where health should not necessarily impact the way that you lead and the way that you show up. You know, one of my mentors stated this, so I'll be talking about that more next week. But yeah, with that, if any of this resonated and you feel called, please book a sales call with me. I do have my 3-month Feminine Sacred Leadership Immersion. We go deeper into really like crafting, okay, what are you wanting to lead in? How are you wanting to show up? Where are you emotionally, mentally, physically kind of blocking your growth in yourself and sabotaging how you're showing up so that you can really, you know, impact your communities, become a high performer, if more efficiently in your world, you know, because you have to be healthy within mind, body, and spirit, and in order to really birth this thing that you're wanting to do. So book a sales call with me soon. Bye.